Okay, we're back again. Now, we only just released the first episode of Punt or No Punt, but something very special happened, and that was that Bean blasted off 7 buy-ins yesterday, and we needed to have a look to see whether he punted that off or not. So, without further ado, it's Punt or No Punt episode 2. Bean, how you doing?
This is Bean.
How you doing, mate?
All right, mate.
How'd you feel about those buy-ins?
I mean, pretty terrible, and there's definitely a significant amount of punts in here, I'm sure.
All right, let's take a peek. We're gonna try and fire through these. We're gonna keep this small form factor. So let's see. First hand, go. Aces, button. I like aces.
Aces on the button.
Yeah. So under the gun raises. That's good. What is that?
It's a misclick.
Okay, it's a misclick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So obviously we'd make that like 8. That's good. This guy calls. This guy folds, and this guy calls. All right. King 7-3, pretty good board for us, unless someone has a set. Goes check. This guy's got 7 bigs as well.
Yeah,
all right,
7 bigs.
All right, so we're just going to continue here for a small size. Seems good. Probably a bit big. That's fine. He calls, and this guy folds. Okay. Okay, so I'm not completely concerned. He could have 3 7s or 6s, though, to be fair. Is he going to check again? I like betting. That's good. I don't like overbetting, I don't think. Seems pretty loose.
I'd overbet
do you know
because
what?
I wanted to size it to jam.
Against the king, it's good, but like I don't know. Like, I think he's gonna fold a lot of his medium strength hands that we're gonna fold. Like, we're gonna continue, and then he's gonna call with all his sets and stuff. I actually could get on board with that, but I don't want to spend too much time on that. I want to see if this river could be check, and a jam and a call. All right. I think he must have a set, but let's see. Or king 10. Oh, yeah, and he can have that as well. So this isn't a punt. We're gonna go with no punt. I don't mind flop turn. You could go smaller, but I don't think it's horrendous. And yeah, unfortunate. It's thin. The river. It's thin, but and I'd be concerned that we block ace king and he didn't 3-bet, so he doesn't have like king queen suited and stuff. So he's gonna have like king jack and king 10 sometimes. And yeah, I'd be concerned about that. But I think on the whole, it's not a punt. But I wouldn't have minded to see you check back the river or bet smaller on the turn or both.
I'm just never considering he's got 4-5 suited in a million years. But
yeah, but he can have.
I misclicked 3.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of king X combos when you have aces, and he didn't 3-bet pre. You know, he doesn't have ace king at all because he would have 3-bet 4-bet. Sorry, I mean you did kind of min click the 3-bet. But he can have 7-6. He can have 5-4. You know, I think this isn't a punt, but I think it's questionable. I think you can play this differently.
Okay.
No punt.
Hand 2.
Okay.
Ace king in the big blind.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fine. 3-bet to 10. Fine. 4-bet and a jam, please. Yeah, this isn't a punt. No punt. No punt.
Rivered me.
No, I don't know why that's in there, Bean. That's just not a punt. Next hand, we're firing through. That's just blind versus button. I mean, it sucks because like in these games they have when they 4-bet they just have goods, but you know I'm even surprised that sometimes that people have jacks in their range there. Button open, make it 10. No, this is a 3-bet. I think pretty clear 3-bet. Check. Don't mind a check raise here against a small size. There's loads of turns that are good for us. I'd prefer to see a check raise than a call. On a king, I assume you're going to check raise, but I don't particularly like it because a king's really good for his range and not anywhere near as good for ours. But I assume you do check raise. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't like that very much. And he calls, and then the river's a brick. So what are you? Okay, so you're punting. Okay, for twice. Okay. So when he, all right. So what are you repping here? 5s, deuces.
Yeah, I mean 5s and 2s really.
That's not a lot of hands, Bean. Especially if you're gonna take like 6-7 or like Jack 10 of diamonds, Jack 10 of hearts, Queen 10 of hearts, Queen 10 of diamonds, which I assume you're doing the same with because you're doing this with Jack 10 of hearts, right?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how many good hands we have here because we don't really even have like 7-9 unless it's specifically 7-9 of hearts or diamonds. So I think you're going to be over bluffing here if you do this too often. If you do this like with this hand, and I'm not surprised to see him call with a king here or something. Yeah, and I think I would probably call as well, being him. This is an absolute punt. 1-1. That is a punt. I'm sorry. Go ahead next. No, 2-1 because the other one wasn't a punt, but that's kind of cheating because the other one was just a blatant no punt. Right.
King 9 suited.
Yeah. Man, you really did blast off your stack there. Open up the king 9 suited. Yeah, don't mind it. In fact, definitely open that up. Little fish calls in the small blind. That's good. And a big blind calls along. Flop a gut shot. Is it going to go check?
Backdoor clubs.
Yeah, check.
Overcard.
Okay, one big. We learned.
Oh, this is the hilarious part.
We learned I don't know anything about any hilarious pots. I've not seen any of these hands.
Oh no, this isn't the hilarious part.
I've never seen any of these hands before. Okay, no. I don't mind the call, right? Okay. I guess you can call, but it's a bit thin, I think.
It's just good value.
Right, okay. Of course, it's the 9 of hearts. I would just call, I think. Yeah. Oh my god. All right, okay. Wait. So Nurlan potted. So he's like saying he's got a straight or a house. He folds, does he?
Yeah.
So against fish, like against this particular opponent, starting with less than 4 and an unknown, this is such a tough spot. I don't think that many fish like check raise the river for like when they have the nuts. He doesn't have queens. He doesn't have 10s. It's impossible for him to have 9s. 4s. I think this is a bit of a stretch with 4s. I like a call here against this particular opponent. Against like, I like a 10-9. You could have 10-9. It's kind of the same as what we had in the first episode, where like these players just don't bluff it. It's so the only thing that makes me want to call is I think that he could be I think he value shoving worse here, but like he could just have queen 9 on 10-9. I think this is going to be like really close. I'm tempted to say this is not. Do you call?
Yeah,
okay.
Cool.
I'm tempted to say this is not a punt, but I really don't expect you to win too often. Yeah. I'm gonna say no punt, but it's so close, man. Like I think the same reasons as the last time. Like it's just so hard to put him on a hand because what did he do? Like he just didn't. It's exactly the same as what the other guy did. He just trickled along to the river and then just bombed it. You know, although his river play is absolutely fine. It's slightly different because it's not 3x pot, right? And we just called 21 and we're getting a much better price, which makes me think it's not a punt. But is he really doing this with 8-9? No. He's much more likely to have 10-9 or well, I didn't think 4s was really. He should really be check raising flop for sure with 4s when he unblocks queen and the 10. You know.
Yeah.
So 4s I would have not really put in there, but I guess fish really love slow playing.
What about King Jack for the straight?
No, he's not check jamming King Jack, I don't think. But like you also block King Jack, but you also don't beat. I don't think he check jams King Jack. I think after a pot and a call, I think he would just flat. It's super thin to jam. But so is a 9. So I guess he could. I don't know. I think that this is because of the price, it's not a punt, but because of the opponent and what we talked about yesterday, this is pretty. This is like the closest decision we've had so far. I went with not a punt before I saw the card, so I'm going to stick to it. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some punts in the comments for this one.
Oh no! Right,
last
final
one.
Hand.
Okay, this is good. This is a good length.
Ace 5 suited on the button.
Right. So let's see. We know that what we like to do with this hand, we'd like to use this as our bluffing hand pre. So I want to see a 3-bet.
It's this guy again who I had.
Oh,
In
Jack
one of the
Rest
other
then.
hand.
Which one was
Yeah.
that? Was that the one with the 4s? Or no, it
That
wasn't.
was
Yeah, the
this
5-4.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't really tell us much because you misclicked that hand, didn't you?
Yeah.
So 3-bet. That's good sizing. A call from the big blind. Cold. Interesting. This could be like 10s and jacks and stuff, but probably not queens or kings, but definitely could have 9s. Much better board for your hand than his. He could have jack 10 suited though. Still, he leads, and I think I just like a fold here, mate. To be honest, I don't mind. You can take one card off here, I guess, but like he does have 9s and jack 10. Like, so do you, but it's just very weird that he half pots this board when it's so good for our range. You know what I mean? So the alarm bells are going off, and we don't really have a very clean like. He also if he'd bet smaller, I'd like a fold. I like a call, but I think this is probably a fold for this sizing. Bean. Okay, he checks, and I think I like to check behind.
Yeah,
here.
but he checks. That means I've got opportunity.
No, but like he led into you. I mean, he has jack 10. He just has jack 10. He led into you on the flop, knowing that the board was good for you, and then the board paired, so nothing really changed. I don't think. I mean, I think this is just a clear check back. Okay. So does he check again? Oh God! Wait. Count the hang time. What are you repping here? Are you jamming? Can you jam, please? Just go ahead and jam. All right, no. I think that this is okay. We don't rep much here. We flatted the flop. I guess we could rep kings and queens here.
Yeah.
We don't really rep king 9 or queen 9. Jack 10, we wouldn't do this with because the flush has got there. So Jack 10, we'd probably even take our showdown. I guess if we can have ace 5 of clubs, we can have ace 5 of spades, right?
Exactly.
So kings, queens, and ace 5 of spades. Are you jamming this river with ace 5 of spades? Probably, yeah, against jack 10. So is this a punt? Do I like this choice of hand? No, I don't. I don't think I do. I think I should always say what I think it is before I see his card, shouldn't I? So this is also very, very close, I would say. I like that you're being aggressive, but I don't like that it's 10 and L, you know? So I think that this is I think he's gonna have a real tough time with Jack 10. Do you know what? I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but I just think that we don't block anything, which is a big problem. We block nothing. We don't have a spade. I'd like to have maybe the ace of spades. I don't really know how we get here with the ace of spades. Like, I guess you could bluff with like ace king with the ace of spades. That seems good. Yeah. Or ace queen with the ace of spades. But I don't think you'd bet the turn with that for sure. I think we'd probably check back the turn with both of those. I'm just trying to think what other bluffs we can have. Unless we're turning pairs into bluffs, like this and ace 5 of spade, ace 5 of diamonds, because we get there with spades, right? This and ace 5 of diamonds are pretty much like the only bluffing candidates we have. So, and maybe like ace jack with the ace of spades. That seems good as well. Yeah.
It's a creative bluff.
I like that you found a bluff when there's really, when you look at it, there's not that many bluffs, but also at the same time, what value bets do you have? You have queens, kings, and ace 5 of spades, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and say no punt, because you put a lot of pressure on him. And I said on the turn, oh, this guy looks like he has jack 10 because, you know, he donks the flop and then the turn. What I am concerned about is him having like I mean, because he cold called a 3-bet, so he could even have like king 9, and we don't block shit. You know what I mean? We don't have a king or a queen or anything. So I think that this is not a punt, but I don't expect to win, given that it's here. Well, we don't win now. What does he have? Wow. You know what? That's a very, very loose call. We definitely credibly rep king. I mean, we don't raise kings or queens on the flop. We certainly raise 9s on the flop, but then 9s become much less likely, obviously, when the second 9 comes in the turn. I don't like his play. I think his play is a 4-bet pre, and his call on the turn is okay. I think his river call is at this stake. He just so happens to run into an absolute maniac who's banging off buys left, right, and centre. But I think against the general pool, this is going to be losing quite frequently, because the only thing I can say from him is he does block kings, and 9s are less likely. So he's thinking I lose to queens and ace-5, or he might not have thought for very long. But this is really, really interesting hand. I have to say, I'm saying it's not a punt because I really like that you found a bluff when I'm looking at it now, thinking there's really not that many bluffs here. And your sizing puts a load of pressure on, man. So, you know, all I can say is very, very creative, and, you know, 10 out of 10 for heart. And no punt from me.
Yeah. So what's the final score?
I think it was 4-1. I think it was just one more punt.
Oh yeah.
I don't mind. This hand is very interesting. I really want to see what people think of this, but I want to say no punt for this one, because I just like that you found a bluff where in a spot where no one really has, because in a spot where you don't have many bluffs and a spot where very, very few people find bluffs. Yeah. Having said that, I think we can maybe fold the flop to his sizing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good, man. Thanks for those hands. I hope to see you again very soon, but maybe on a more positive, on the back of a more positive session where you haven't just, you know, stacked off infinite amount of times.
There'll be plenty more.
All right, mate. Well, good luck. Thanks for supplying some hands for me, and
No
I'll catch you soon. There'll be an episode of Quarantine Grind on Wednesday, which I'm going to do when I wake up. So that will be ready on Wednesday. Thanks very much, and I'll see you guys soon.